Okay. All right, welcome to Tina's Truths. I have my special guest here, a childhood friend, Darryl Easley.
How's everybody?
And I'm really excited about this. This guy has a lot going on. Super. I'm like one of his number one fans. Seriously, like we grew up in the same neighborhood, Westwood, and
Yeah.
I'm just excited about him taking the time out of his busy schedule to come on Tina's Truth and just share our truths with one another. We're not gonna hold you long because it's already storming, so it's not gonna be a long Tina Truth. It's just gonna introduce him and we're gonna get it in. All right. Now, so of course I just said we know each other from
Westwood.
Grew up together. I grew up on Anna Street.
And I lived on Cedarhurst and Kamer twice.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I lived on Kamer right by McNary School.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right there in the back. And then when we moved from there, we moved to Kamer, closer to Walton. Yeah, in the double. Yeah.
Because I remember McNary.
Yep. White House McNary.
Yeah.
And then now, me and my cousin Scott Copeland, when I first met you, me and Scott lived on Cedarhurst. And
I didn't know y'all say.
We lived in a double on Cedarhurst, right next door to each other. I'm thinking like, this was probably, 11 years old, 79.
Well, I met y'all when I was 10, so y'all had to be living next door to each other.
Yeah, we was living on Cedarhurst.
My brain just.
And I moved to Kamer twice. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, anywho, so tell me what's going on with you.
Okay.
Tell me, who is Darryl Easley? What are you doing?
Well, right now, Darryl Easley is a movie director and a film producer.
Come on with it.
Along with everybody know me for music.
That's right.
From back in the day, hip hop, Dr. Eavesdropping.
That's right.
Posse, all that, But right now, I'm more aiming towards being a film director.
Okay.
I have a film that we shot around this time last year, and it's called Two Wrongs Don't Make It Right.
Yes.
And we're having a film premiere. Might as well get my shot in.
That's right.
We're having a film premiere.
Please do.
July the 23rd at the the historic Plaza Theater in downtown Miamisburg.
Okay.
So it's going to be $20 a ticket because it's an event. It's not you're just not coming in to watch a film. You're going to be able to come in. We're having a red carpet event. All the actors that's in the film going to be there. You can talk to them, autographs, whatever you want to do. So, and then after the film, I think we're going to have a Q&A where you can ask questions about the film after the film is over.
Well, that's going to be good.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Oh, yeah. And she sponsored
and
Dayton Drip t-shirts for us. So no charge. She's just like, hey, brother, you need something? I said, hey, give us some of them Dayton Drip shirts. She gave me about 15 of them. So thank you for that.
You are so welcome.
And we used them.
That's in the movie, y'all. Please.
That's going to be in the movie.
They are in the movie. He showed me like a little clipping, and I seen everyone wearing my shirt. It was for them to show my brand.
Yeah.
It was really interesting. I was very happy about it.
Yeah, we put them to good use. You're gonna love the scenes too that we have.
Exactly. I know that we are. That I'm not even. I know about it because I saw your other play. When the movie was a play, and that was awesome. Now that
was the same one. Actually, see what we did was, I wrote the play. Two Wrongs Don't Make It Right. The film was a play at first.
Oh, right. Okay.
I wrote it in 2015. 2016 to 17, we went to Chicago.
Okay.
To do a thing called Taste the Theater, where Guy Victor Gully runs Taste the Theater and Kay Abrams, and what they do is they invite producers or screenplay writers or whatever, playwrights down to Chicago to where you can showcase 2 scenes of your play.
Okay.
And then they judge you on it or whatever. I think we came in 3rd that year, but we brought a trophy to Dayton, so it was
that's right.
Out of 20-some plays from around the country, we came in 3rd. I think we should have won first. So, and I had got some actors from Chicago, Sharice Eaglin and Christopher Greer. I mean, Sharice has been in
a lot of.
Oh man, Empire.
What?
Chicago PD, Chicago Hope, Chicago Fire. I mean, they've been in movies. And then Christopher Greer, he's been in a lot of movies too. And Dayton's own Brian Bentley. I don't know if you know Brian Bentley.
Was he? Did he work downtown?
Yeah.
I know him.
Yeah, Brian.
He was a bailiff or something.
Yeah, he was a bailiff.
Yes.
Great actor. He did a movie with Emilio Estevez and Gabrielle Union and Alec Baldwin. I was a star. Michael K. Williams, the one that passed.
Yes.
That was in The Wire. And he took me to his red carpet event in California. So it was awesome. It was awesome. It was awesome. So.
And shout out to Dayton's Own.
Oh yeah.
Period.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's a lot of talent here.
Yeah. So we did the play first. We did it in Chicago.
Okay.
Then after that, I said, you know what? I want to take the play home and do it in Dayton.
Okay.
So I want to say 2017. We did it at the Dayton, the convention center.
Okay.
There was a sellout. Had a good crowd there. So then said, you know what? Let's make it into a film.
Yeah.
So I got the same actors, so everybody knew their parts, and we went on ahead and shot it into a feature film.
That's just awesome, brother. I'm so happy for you,
Thank you.
And your success. You have really done some incredible things. I read your book. That I couldn't even put it down. I finished it so fast. I was really salty that it was that short. Because I'm nosy, so I was going through it like what, just where our lives were at that time. But I could relate to everything you were saying. You just went to music. I was more so in the streets at that time.
Right.
And I knew some of the dealers and dealers that you were talking about, really close. I knew them, but I had no idea about them, and your music career and all that kind of stuff. Even though I knew they were doing that, but it was just so weird hearing it that they were doing it, helping you. It was very interesting.
And I do want to clear something up if you don't mind.
I don't.
Like in the book, I wrote a lot about, and people who read the book, they know. I was talking about Herc, Tupac, and me and Herc talked. I was salty. And I put it in the book, you know what I mean? Because I was salty because he had my career in his hands. Yeah. And something really like I tell people, it wasn't all bad.
You said that.
You know what I mean? It wasn't all bad. But the part that hurt me was that he had my career in his hands. And MC Hammer, the biggest artist in the world, wanted to sign me. Yeah. He would, come on, Herc, let me have him. He was like, knowing that he was about to bounce pretty soon, you know what I mean? And it's like, dang, you could have did something good before you left. I could be looking out for you right now, you know? But I bring that up because I wanted to apologize to him. Okay. Only because he called me like a man. Well, he hit me on Facebook. He said, hey, man, I heard that you was kind of sorry. I said, yeah, I was. We were having a Facebook conversation. I hear you. And I said, this is Tina's truth, so
we good place to be
true.
I said, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I told him, I said, man, told him how I felt. And he told me, he said, look, D, he said, I was at a different place in my life back then. He said, and I didn't do all right. I did some good things, I did some bad things, but, I wasn't in a good place, and I apologized. And I had to accept that, because I told him, dude, it wasn't all bad. Because of Herc and Tupac, I wouldn't be the first rapper from Dayton to be out on a national level. Right. My dream, they helped my dream come true. Yes. My dream was, okay, and I'm going to tell you people to be careful about what you ask for. You got to be real specific about what you ask God to give you. You do. Because I thought that if I put a record out, I was going to be rich automatically. I didn't know nothing about publishing and record contracts. I just thought if you go by my store in the record store, I'm going to be paid.
That's what most of us think, though.
A lot of people think that because we didn't know, but that wasn't their fault. That was my fault for not knowing the business. You know what I mean?
The business.
Right. I didn't know the business, but my dream. This is what I asked God for. I used to go in Solid Gold Records. I used to go in Classic Records. I used to go in the B&D Records and just see records on the wall. Public Enemy, Too Short, MC Hammer, and I used to be like, God, if you. I want my record to be in the store one day. I want to be able to go out of town, go in a record store, and see my album cover. That's what I asked for. Okay. I didn't say I want to be super rich off this music. I wasn't specific.
You said I want
my dream was to go into a record store and see my album up there next to LL Cool J, Public Enemy, EPMD, and I did that 3 times. Right. So my dream came true 3 times because that's what I asked for.
But the money wasn't.
The money wasn't right. But again, in my prayers, I didn't ask for the money because I thought automatically I was going to be rich because I had an album out.
And let's be clear that the music industry is like sharks.
Oh, whew.
They devour when you don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
So
they want you not to know.
It's a lot of people that didn't know the business at the beginning, but they had some people that did.
Mm-hmm.
With you coming straight in, your backing was guys from the street. You didn't know.
You know, I was thinking, okay, my thinking back then at 18, 19, I'm like, man, these guys got money already.
Right.
Don't screw me. I ain't got no money. They got money.
Right.
So I'm thinking people who got money ain't going to screw somebody who don't have the money. But they ain't, that's people who got money know how to keep money, and if they got to screw you to make more money, they do that.
That's how.
And one thing I had to learn, my mother always taught me, see, everybody don't think like you. You know, you're different. You don't think, they don't think like you. They think, I got money. I mean, I ain't gonna say no names, but I came downstairs one day at a pool table and they had $1 million, counting $1 million.
I've seen this.
I was nervous. I walked out the house because I was so nervous because I'd never been around $1 million cash. Like, I'm like, oh God, let me get out of here. I'm nervous. I was nervous
about this.
Like, man, let me get out of here, And I'm thinking, oh, they're not gonna screw me. We got $1 million right there, cash. But it did. Yeah. But like I said, he called me, he apologized. I accepted it. And like I said, because of him, I became who I was. Okay. I mean, good things happen, bad things happen for a good reason, and good things happen for a good reason.
It does. At the end, you win.
You win. You learn from your mistakes. Not their mistakes. You learn from your mistakes. That's right. It was my mistake that I didn't know the industry. But it was their fault for taking advantage, but it was still my fault for not knowing. So it's like, okay, I accepted his apology and life goes on. And I thanked him because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have got to travel the world. You know what I mean? I got to travel the world, I got to meet people. Yeah. So it was good and,
Yeah.
So
you
I did want to
network
say
with some people even now. And that's real solid. You're a solid guy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's real. That's what real men do, real things. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's, you're being a man by that. Not only that, you're a man of God. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. You have integrity. And so like you said, I had to forgive the brother. At that time, I was bitter and mad because in your mind, I felt like I could have been this, that, and the other. Then on the other hand, you could have got killed too because of haters. So we don't know what unseen danger that God was protecting me from. And yeah, it was them, but at the same time, if it was meant for you to be there, you would have been there. And
I wholeheartedly believe in that. Yes. That when it's your time, it's your time.
Period.
Good or bad, whatever you go through in life, your life is already written. I believe that.
And that's how I feel, Darryl, about children. A lot of people say, well, God, I put it to you like this. If it was meant for me, then it would have happened. Because there are some women that I always had miscarriages. I didn't have a problem getting pregnant. It was always miscarriages all the time. But then you got some women that could get pregnant all the time and throw them in trash cans.
Yeah, don't give a damn about having a baby.
Don't care anything about it. So I just look at it like, I know stories of women that was infertile and then they got pregnant and they had them. So if it was meant, he could have opened my womb and could have closed it until I could say them. So that's how I look at that. Right. Was it painful? Yes, at first. I was wondering, like, why is everybody else able to have kids that don't even want them and then I can't have them? I thought it was unfair and I went through a lot of that, right? So I could kind of relate even though that's different. What I mean is, what is meant to be, that's why I'm saying all that, will be. Exactly. And so that's how I got to look at it.
Like and say, what God has for you is for you.
It is for me. And so, I mean.
Some things we have to, it's hard to accept, but sometimes we have to just accept it. Life goes on.
Right. And like you said, a lesson. It could be either a lesson or a blessing, but at the end, we win.
Exactly.
Either way. Yeah. That is just interesting. Like I said about your book, you guys, say the name of your book because
it's called Almost There. You can go to Barnes and Nobles. You can get online and order it off Barnes and Nobles. It's called Almost There, and it's just I call it a inspirational book for up and coming artists because I didn't really sell the book hardly to nobody. When I got my copies, I just gave them away. Yeah, I gave them away to up and coming artists, and I used it as a learning tool for myself too. Because what I did was, I produced a lot of young guys from Dayton. I financed some people from Dayton. I had Iman Jones, I had Yellow Pain, I had a guy named Tank. And what I tried to do with them, like what I would do was say, here, because they were babies. They weren't even born when my first album came out in 1989. So I would say, here, take my book and read it so you can know who you're dealing with. Next day, you read the book, I ain't had a chance to yet. A week later, you read the book, I ain't had a chance. So I'm like, okay, they want me to invest in them. but
they
you
want you to
can't
read
take 3 hours. You know how fast, like you said, when you read it, you can't put it down.
You cannot.
It's over in 3 hours. If you're a good reader, you can read that book in 3 hours. It's only
so
like 100
good.
pages. And thanks for saying that, because it kept your attention. And that's what you want a book to do.
That's what you want a book to do.
You got to keep turning the pages, and you don't want to put it down.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something right about it.
And it was.
And so I use that like, okay, they can't even read my book, but you want me to invest thousands into it.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't take 3 hours to read this book.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I started using that. And when people came in, I want you to help me out, blah, blah, blah. Give them the book. You read the book? No? Okay. So I don't even answer the phone no more when they call.
Period.
Because like, okay, you can't even do this, 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But you want me, you can go on tour with so-and-so? How much they want? Oh, 3 stacks? Oh, I can't do it. No. You can't even read the book.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But saying that, like I said, you learn.
Mm-hmm.
You go through stuff. Like I said, now it don't take long for me to learn. I done been through so much in the music industry that I can see a person and know if they're right. You know what I mean? Because I done dealt with so many snakes.
That's that game.
I had one of my cousins come down. He claimed he was my cousin. We had the same last name. He came down from Cali, and he was, yeah, man, I'm a producer, man. I can get your movie out there. I can do this. I can hook you up. I'm like, all right, cool. I said, you know what? I don't know whether to believe him or not. I flew him to Dayton just so I could look in his eyes. I didn't tell him that, but I flew him to Dayton. Come on, man, let's go out and eat and talk. Got him a hotel room. We went out to eat, and we sitting there talking. And we're talking like this, but every time we talk business, he would talk like this. And he couldn't look me in the eye. Mm-hmm. And I knew, I said, he ain't right. You know what I mean?
Right.
When a man can't look you in the eye and talk to you man to man, something ain't right about him. Mm-hmm. You can look into a person's eyes and you can see their soul.
You can.
And if you look into a person's eye who's trying to tell you a lie, you can he can't look at you. Mm-hmm. He gonna be, we went down to he looking,
right.
He can't look you in the eyes for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
So I knew, I said, this dude ain't right. He knew a lot of people, but I ain't dealing with him because he can't even look me in the eye when we're talking business. It was true. He wasn't right. So
I'm glad you had discerned that. You know what I'm saying? That you had the discernment to know that he wasn't.
Right.
Speaking of that, okay, today, before you came, I was a little disgruntled. I had got a text from somebody that helped me with my vision on divine healing.
Right.
And I had a lot of people that helped, which I shared that with you when I came to the office. I said so many friends of mine, childhood friends, came out to help, and it was just in numbers, just what you need, we got you. Donated like you did, thank you again. Right. I mean, I'm not gonna be able to make it, but
you sponsor me, I'm a sponsor. Here you go.
I was so thankful.
That's what it's about. We need to do that.
Support one another,
support each other,
and that's what happened. So. Anyway, I gave, that's my first event.
Right.
So I gave 2 people that did like majority of the helping. You know what I mean? With the decor or some of the other things, for the event. Mm-hmm. So I gave them, a card, and I put some cash in one, the card as a token of thank you.
Yeah.
Never could have paid for what they did because it was priceless.
But just showing your appreciation.
Just showing my appreciation.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
And then it was somebody else I sent, and it wasn't as much as the other that I gave the other 2 who I felt like did majority of it.
Right.
But I gave them a token as well, right?
Okay.
So most of it, me learning about different sponsors and not knowing about it, because I'm learning all this stuff, which I told you about that, right?
Yeah.
So I got a couple of my girlfriends that tried to tell me ahead, but when I got the vision for Divine Truth, I just had the vision and I was on the go. I told my girls, hey, got the tickets, got the flyers out, and I put it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay, so particular person came in, hey, I seen your vision, I want to help you.
Right.
They off the rip, they bought a lot of tickets. Then they said, I would like to help you in whatever you need, no charge. Right? I'm like, what? Wow, oh my God. I said, woo. So when they started to come with all these ideas, I'm thinking, wow, this is becoming bigger than I thought about, because I was simply going to get a gift bag with a candle, a notebook, and a pen, and we was just going to eat and have a good time.
Right.
Because my vision is getting about divine healing,
Right.
getting to the root of healing.
Right.
Not so much about the gifts or the this or the that.
Right.
Mine was about us getting to the root of what was going on in our lives as women, and let's heal.
Right.
Let's help one another heal, right?
Right.
So, okay, moving forward. So the person says, well, in other words, that what I gave the third person wasn't enough.
Okay.
And they were worth more than that. This was what was said to me.
Okay.
Well, I just feel like I'm going to just add to it because I feel like what they did was worth more than what you gave.
So did they want you to pay them back for giving to them? For adding to it? Or were they just letting you know it wasn't sufficient?
It wasn't sufficient. So, but my point was, but I thought you guys said that it was for nothing. I mean, I didn't know that y'all
from your heart, no matter what
it was.
If they didn't give you a price beforehand,
and it wasn't supposed to be one, and it wasn't to offend anybody. Right? I was giving on what I felt like. You understand what I mean?
Right.
So now you know me.
Yeah.
So now I'm saying, man, for one, I'm not gonna say my feelings was hurt because I know people. But second,
caught off guard.
I was kind of caught off guard by it, and then I didn't want to operate in my flesh.
Right.
Because that's too easy for me.
Right.
So I could have easily shut that shit down so fast, girl.
Yeah.
But I said, what am I gonna gain from that? I'm trying to do stuff. I'm getting ready to have another event on the 17th. If he's giving me visions for that, I do not have time for that. So if that's what it costs for you to get on, then go on.
Right.
Because you, for one, you said that you was helping. I never asked you for nothing. I don't even know you for real.
Right.
My friends we already had this.
Right.
So how did it go from me and what's not good enough? So that kind of had me bothered, and I'm sharing that with you about running into different type of people and how people say one thing but mean another.
Let me say this real quick.
I wanted you to interject.
And this will be a learning lesson for you.
It is.
Because this is what taught me.
Okay.
Now, in our days, somebody screw us over. We fighting. So I started my transportation business. Like I said, I got the Easy Group Agency is my business that I have.
Yes.
I work with people with developmental disabilities. I have an adult daycare. But before I got that, I started that in 2018. In 2010, I was working for VideQuest Behavioral Health. And I became doing transportation for people with developmental disabilities, picking them up from their homes, taking them to work or to school or to their day halves, picking them up and bringing them home. I did that. I started that in 2010, right? So, 2014, I'm going to say, a guy named Mike, I ain't going to say his last name, but a guy named Mike who worked with me. Now, when I worked at General Motors for 15 years, I took the buyout.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I took the buyout in 06. I worked at Delphi and Kettering. So I took the buyout. I said, okay, I'm going to buy some property, get my flip on, So I bought up, I lived on Philadelphia. My mother found a house on Litchfield. And she was like, oh, it's a nice brick house over here, patio, blah, blah, blah. I went and looked at it. I said, man, how much they want for it? They wanted like $38,000 for it. So I said, I offered them $25,000. They took it. Because I had cash. When I took the buyout, we got about $80,000. So I took $25,000, bought the house. I paid a guy $4,000 to gut it and fix it up. So, under $30,000, brand new house now.
Yes.
That's when the economy said, shh. I was like, man, as soon as I get in the game, just wanna, but let me jump to the whole point. So this guy Mike said, while I was doing transportation, he said, hey man, before I was doing transportation, I was working at VideQuest. Okay. And he told me, hey man, somebody with a van? I said, no. He said, look, they doing transportation, man. They paying this, and this. He said, I got a van. We can go in business together. I'm like, all right, cool. You got the van. Let's get it going. I'll drive, So, cut to the chase. He calls me. Hey, man, I need $400 for the insurance. Week later, hey, man, I need $200 for boom, boom, boom. I need this. Every week, it was I need. I figured, okay, he had the van. I said, well, man, do you know what oh, man, I did my research. Trust me, I got it. We just need to go ahead so we can get these people. I'm like, cool. After about close to 5 racks, I said,
From you?
from me. I mean, 400 here,
Right,
300.
right, I hear you.
I started adding. I said, hey man, you know what? You need to show me some receipts, bro. So we cool. We're good. We're friends, but you need to start showing me some receipts. Okay, I'll bring them when we have our next meeting. We had our next meeting. He didn't show up. I was like, so now I'm pissed. I'm like, this motherfucker. You mean to tell me he been fucking me all this time? So I added up. It was probably 4,800 total. I said, I'm gonna whoop his ass when I see him. I went to church. I go to Omega. So I go to church. A guy named Robert Bikes, they call him Butch. He worked at General Motors with me, but he's a deacon at Omega.
Okay.
He said, D, what's wrong? I said, man, don't you know Mike screwed me out of some money? He said, let it go, D. I said, let it go?
Right.
Dog, let it go, man. Let it go. Did you hear me? He screwed me out of some money. Man, trust me. Let it go and watch God work. I said, yeah, all right. I went home that night. I had a dream. I saw him at a bus stop and jumped out of my car and whooped his ass.
Beat
right?
the brakes off.
Beat the brakes off of him. Came to church, would say, did you let it go, D? I said, man, I had a dream. I beat him up. He said, see, you didn't let it go in your heart.
No, you
He
didn't.
said, you got to let it go. So at that time, I used to sit up in the balcony and I had my Bible with me. And I said, have you ever just opened the Bible?
Absolutely.
And just look down? Not look up, just open it.
Just open it, yeah.
Look down and start reading. I opened the Bible, and I think it was Romans 12 or something like that. Don't quote me on it, but it was Romans something where God said, don't fight evil with evil.
Don't render evil.
Vengeance is mine, said the Lord. I let it go. He told me. When I read that, I just opened the Bible and looked down, and that's what it said. Vengeance is mine, said the Lord. Don't fight evil with evil. I was like, I let it go. So I took one of my grandchildren to Chuck E. Cheese, and I saw Mike in there with his two daughters. And I saw him grab him up, break out. And I said, you know what? He think I'm after him. Let me call him. Because I let it go. But of course, he didn't know I let it go. So I called him up. He didn't answer. I left him a voice. No, I sent him a Facebook messenger. I said, hey, bro, we good. He didn't respond for a couple of days or whatever. But once I let it go in my heart, and I'm telling you this, it'll hit you in a minute. I let it go in my heart. And after I did that, I got my certification that following week, right? And after that, I got 5 people I bought my own van. I went to the place where they do work across from Popeyes. They put people on vans and they go find jobs for them. Labor World. They had a van sitting up there for like $2,500. And what I did was I went up there. I said, hey man, how much? I ain't got but $1,000. He said, okay, well you can just bring me the rest later. I gave him $1,000.
Sorry.
And no, you're fine. And a week later, I went up there to take him some more money. You know what he told me?
The guy.
Take the van.
The man said
The
it?
man said you can have it.
See, this is all telling me.
Oh yeah.
You don't even know.
So he said, you can have it. I'm like, huh? He like, go ahead and take it. Now this is after I said I'm gonna let it go. And I let it go in my heart. You see what I'm saying? I was done wrong, but in my heart I let it go. And by me letting it go, all these blessings start coming. But like, you know, we grew up, you fuck us over, it's on site. But I let it go. I got certifications. I got 5 people to start at $200 each person. So I started making $1,000 a week doing my own transportation. And I said, wow. They asked him, and I still worked at ViQuest. They asked him, Mike, you want to be the home manager? He said, nah, man. So they said, Darryl, you want to be the home manager? Sure. I became the home manager. But in order for me to have become an agency, I didn't go to college. So I didn't have a college degree, but I had the experience. And in order for me to be able to get an agency, I would have had to have a bachelor's degree or 2 years experience as a home manager. Only reason I became the home manager because he turned it down.
Right.
He told me about the business. So what I'm saying is, it's like the blessings just started coming like that. And I'm like, damn. So when I called him, and say, hey man, we're good. You don't owe me nothing. You could tell he was shocked, like, huh? I said, dude, we good. I said, you didn't want the home manager position. They gave it to me. You told me about the transportation. That's how I got into it. Even though you fucked me, but I wouldn't have known about it if you didn't tell me about it. I didn't have a college degree, but I had the experience. So I was able to get an agency and grow, and I could hire people and all that. But I'm saying is that he screwed me over, but when I gave it to God, I said, you know what, I'm gonna let it go. And mean it.
Yeah.
Like I said, this was in 2010, it's 2022.
And look at you now.
I've had my transportation company since 2010, and now I got my adult day hab for my 4th year anniversary is April. All because this guy introduced me to it. He didn't do me right, and I had to let it go on my heart. If I would have tried to fight him and beat him up, I would have had an assault charge. I wouldn't have been able to get my business going because I would have had an assault charge.
Right.
So I tell people all the time, when somebody do you wrong, somebody can cuss me out right now. You can't put your hands on me, but you can talk bad about me. I saw a post today to say, what people think about me is none of my business.
None.
Let me say it again. What people think about me is none of my business.
Yes.
People gonna do what they do. They're gonna look at you how they want to look at you. So what people think about me is none of my business. So what I'm saying is, whenever somebody do something to you, you feel like they wronged you, as long as they don't put their hands on you, you can walk away from it and watch God work. But you gotta let it go in here. You can't just say, all right, I'm gonna let it go, that fucking bitch, or
right.
Let it go in your heart. And I've learned from that, and God showed me. So now every time I talk to somebody and they upset about something, I tell them, let it go. And watch God work. And it don't take long, trust me.
It don't.
Sorry it was so long. Sorry it took so long. But
we're here to do exactly what we're doing because I want to share with you that it's so funny because if you talk to any of my close friends or family, money, I don't know if you've seen that video where I told you if not, go check it out where I had the bear and I was beating the bear because when I was doing business with this realtor company, I asked the lady when would the monies be deposited into my business account. And the lady was not a communicator versus like picking up the phone. She was an emailer or texter, right? Well, when I'm talking about my money, though, I need you to pick up the phone. And then not only that, she has started getting smart through the texts and all that. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, so now listen, I done went and got my hoodie, I done got the yaya, I'm on my way up Maine. Yeah. While I'm up Maine, guys told me stop, pull over. I pulled over, the Most High said breathe. Right. I began to breathe and he began to explain to me why I needed to breathe. So I began to cry and I asked him, why am I like this about money? Like, I've been this way since I was a kid. Like, you can do a lot of things to me, but when you owe me, you pay, it's just a big old thing. So I got some wisdom from a bishop one time that told me that if you let somebody borrow some money, Tina, you really can't, if you're looking for it back, then you can't really afford to let anybody borrow. You have to look in your mind to give it to them.
This is what I can give away.
And if they give it back, it's a plus, but if they don't, you wasn't expecting it back to begin with, right? Then on the second note, business-wise, a guy by the name Derek, I can't think of his last name, but he does something with the daily black newspaper. But anyway, he said to me, first off, when you go in to do business like that, you have something from your company on what you expect from that company. Right. So you let them know, I'm not a tax or emailing. Right. I need to communicate with you another way. That way, he said, but you were excited, that's okay. You're going to make many more mistakes, but that's at least one of them you don't have to do again, right? But why did I go from 0 to 1,000? So here you come. I'm telling you about something that not as serious about money, but this was predestined because I needed to hear this about you because clearly nobody's ever going to owe me that kind of money. I'm saying, I'm saying, you understand? They haven't. I don't allow anybody to owe me that. Now, the most I've let somebody borrow like $2,500, and I wasn't worried about it because it was a close family member, and I know that their word is good. But I mean, just like how you were cashing out, because I know how I am about it, and the possibility that you don't pay me, I know it's going to go all the way down. Well, it was. We're going to speak past tense, right? But we speaking things into existence. So now, that's why you were here. Because I needed to hear you say that regardless of whatever amount it is not worth you going. Because guess what God showed me? You can ready to go up there and mess with that white lady.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna call the police.
Mm-hmm.
You got a pistol on you.
Mm-hmm.
You in a black hoodie.
Mm-hmm.
You already know your mouth when it comes to police. You're gonna get shot and die.
You
Period.
already know the police right now too.
They getting ready to shoot you. You getting ready to die because you're not gonna put it down. Because I'm not.
Right.
Let me make that clear. I'm not. I'm not putting my pistol down because I don't trust them. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's my mentality, which that will eventually change. But my mentality, I'm not putting no pistol down. Put y'all's down. So I would have got killed.
Yeah, but see, that's growth in you to be able to stop yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, God stopped you.
But I mean,
but
I still
still
was
listen.
I was a willing.
Because God talked to a lot of people and they don't listen.
And I mean, he done talked to me a lot of times and I ended up in jail looking stupid. So this time I did not go, and I'm saying he was able to show me. Because when you're in your emotions like that, you're not listening. But this is why he said breathe. Because when you're not breathing, there's no oxygen really properly getting to your brain, right? And that's what caused people to have blackouts. And they can't remember. They just snap. Because you're so angry.
That's why I said, when we were growing up, you couldn't do that to us.
No.
You couldn't take no money from us and not pay us back. Come on, it's going down.
That's just all we knew. And then because it's just so much to go with that. But, amen for growth. And I want to thank you for sharing that because, truly, thank you for being obedient. Even though you say it was long, it really wasn't because it's something that I needed to hear for my growth. But speaking on that terms of, it still helped me with this particular person, this particular person that helped out. I'm not going to allow whatever you feel. I'm actually going to say, I apologize if you feel like. No, seriously. I'm going to, because I apologize to the white lady. I did. I'm going to apologize to this person. I apologize if it offended you by what I gave the other person, right? Because that was not my intentions. Really? And so you be blessed as well. And that's it. Because like I tell people all the time, Joe, some people we are the tree, then you have branches. And branches fall off during seasons. But the root of the tree stay with you through whatever storm. If the tree fall over, the roots with it. They still there though, right? Through whatever storm come that tree's way, the roots are still there. So I got roots. You was a branch. So thank you very much. You served a purpose though, because branches do serve a purpose, but they fall off with seasons. And so I'm cool with that, and thank you, because I'll let my mind carry on and say, now I should have told that motherfucker this, that, and the third. Well, no, I don't have to tell you nothing, but be blessed, because I got other stuff to do for the ministry, and I don't have time to entertain childish shit. For real, I don't. Because I could get real kiddish, and I need to grow up there.
But watch how God works. Let it go in your heart.
I am.
Watch him work.
It's over.
Watch him work.
It is over, because he gonna do it like he did that.
Watch him work.
Oh, I know he is.
Watch him work.
Did you see the way that the divine healing came together? It was magnificent, dude. You know what I'm saying? So let me ask you something. The second event is divine healing, and it's gonna be co-ed. I've asked you to be a speaker.
Yes.
I want you to share with the audience on what you said, that one of the topics that you want to talk about, that you said was so dear to your heart.
Was the Lord Water Me and Cheat?
No, I was talking about water.
You was talking about.
You said about family
dynamics.
You said about family dynamics, the discord and family.
Oh yeah. I wanted to talk to. Well, I would be speaking to everybody, but from the man's point of view.
Right. That's right.
I wanted to talk about men. I know a lot of men feel this way. A lot of men feel like they're not appreciated. Like around Christmas time, guys get socks and, t-shirts, the mama get everything, and sometimes I've spoken to a lot of guys, they're like, man, why is it like that? We did it, So, I even have a situation now where family, I'm not going to say their names, but two of my kids, let's put it like that, we had some run-ins, and I know a lot of people who going through things with their kids.
They are.
They're grown now, but we need that respect as parents, and we couldn't say nothing to our mother without getting slapped in the mouth. And you said something disrespectful, No. And with two of my kids, we've been going through some things as far as, like, one of them I would ask them a question. Oh, time out. Who you talking to?
Right.
You know what I mean? You grown, but slow your roll. Don't. But then it just got to a point to where something popped off, they kept putting stuff on Facebook, feeling like they can play with me. And I said, you know what? See, sometimes you gotta show disrespect to get respect. And I hate to say it because I've never had to be disrespectful to none of my kids or anything like that. But this time, I had to show my ass. And I went in. I had to show them a part of me that they didn't see. Because see, all they knew was, oh, Dad's so laid back and cool, you know. But then when it came to the disrespect, I'm not gonna take it. So that's something I wanna sit and talk to people about, the men, about being disrespected by their children. Even though they're grown now. My kid's 30, 34, 35, 36. But still, it's like, you're still my child. You're not gonna talk to me crazy without me, you know, coming back.
My mother has
so
said
that's
that.
something I want to really discuss because that's something I'm going through. You know, and I want to, you know.
Do they hold any resentment towards you?
Yes. And
I'm not saying it's an
no.
I'm just saying.
I don't mind.
Do they
we
hold
on
any?
Truth.
Okay.
Put it like this. Like I said, I ain't gonna say no names because
Right.
I don't want to put them out there like that. But so, my oldest daughter, when she was born, her mother was messing with a guy. Okay. He was telling people. Now I was a sophomore in high school when my daughter was born.
Okay.
He's telling people, yeah, that nigga taking care of my kid. You know. And I'm asking her, did you mess with this guy? No, I wouldn't do that. I said, okay. Later on, I found out the truth. You know, after the second daughter was born, when she was messing with him. Like, she was messing with this guy our whole relationship.
Oh, wow.
Whole 4 years ago, she was messing with him.
Oh.
So he had a right to say I was taking care of his kid.
Oh, okay.
He had the right, because he was messing with her too.
Oh.
So, when me and her broke up after that, I had a daughter by her, he had a daughter by her. So
wait a minute, so the first daughter wasn't yours?
No, I'm not saying that word yet, but we never had a blood test, put it like that.
Okay, gotcha.
So here's what happened. I'm going to get my daughter. He's taking care of his daughter.
Okay.
He thought it was his daughter.
Okay.
He's taking care of her. So I'm coming to get my daughter. He's got his daughter. He goes to jail. Then all of a sudden the mom say, oh, this is your kid. No, hell no. You ain't putting no kid on me. So then it became, if you can't come and get her, you can't get her. And the child is standing right there. Oh. And I'm like, no, I'm taking my daughter, blah, 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 blah. But the baby had to hear that.
Oh, yeah.
But see, and so we had this big intervention and we talked about it. And I told him, I wasn't perfect, but I wasn't mature enough to say, this baby don't have nothing to do with this. Right. What's wrong with taking her to the park with us and play? But see, I'm thinking, all I hear, yeah, that nigga take care of my kid. So it's like, oh, hell no. You know, so I knew that she was hurt. This one over, the second born, was hurt because of the situation.
Right.
But once we sat and talked about it, and they they had a lot of fire with me, you know. Oh, my mom would have a fit if she knew I did this. I did this because you wasn't around because of this. But once we talked about it and you realize, you know the truth now, where's that fire at for her? You know what I'm saying? You got all this smoke for me, but now that you know the truth, where's that smoke for her? I get it. It's your mom. I understand. I'm not saying hate her. Don't
no, I know that.
But you got fire for me, you need to have fire for her.
Because it takes two.
It takes two. So at the end of that, I didn't say this nigga was your daddy. I didn't say he was your, no, she did. You know what I'm saying? So now that they're older, they have this resentment towards me like I'm the bad guy, even though they know the truth. And my whole thing is, if you're not going to hold the right person responsible, that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying hate her or just, I would love your mom, I want you to. But hold the right person responsible. And if you do that, then we can grow. We can be all right. But until then, this, you ain't did shit for me. You this, you that, you da. And trust me, people that know me know I've done a lot of shit. But
how does that make you feel?
I felt bad because...
I'm talking about now. You feel bad now?
No.
How do you feel now?
Right now, I feel okay. Because when you know you've done your everything, you can walk away from stuff.
Okay.
Even your ex-wife, even your child. I hate to say that.
I hear you.
But if you're going to be disrespectful, you don't need to be around me. If you're going to make me come out of my element, then we don't need to be around each other. Because if y'all really feel that way towards me, after I know what I've done in my heart, all I gave and done, and then you're going to say I ain't did shit, and this and that, okay. So we don't speak right now. I love them, I forgave them, and I'm moving on.
And you have to move on.
And if we don't ever speak again before I die, I hate to say it, I'm okay with it, because I know what I've done. I know who I am, and I know what I've done for them.
Well,
and if they refuse to look at me like that and say that, oh, you didn't do this, if you think that, that's fine too. That's how you feel. That's how you feel.
I have to respect your choice.
I respect you. I love you. I forgave you. Move on.
But if you cost me my peace, it's too expensive. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh,
I'm not good. I'm getting ready, like you said, I'm not going to get pulled up out of my element and stoop to whatever level it is, whether it be a child. See, me, it's anybody. Because I have had nervous breakdown and lost my mind.
Right.
I'm very, very, very serious, and I do not play about my peace.
Right.
I can't. Because my life literally depends on it, right? So that's why I said, even in this incident or whatever, little things like that, it'll turn over in my mind 1,000 times where somebody else, like you said, will let it go. Like, I ain't worried about that. But me, because I process stuff over and I'm an overthinker.
Right.
And I'm an overthinker sometimes about the wrong things.
Right.
So I have to use that scripture. Think on these things. Whatsoever things are pure. Whatsoever things of a good report. Whatever. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I have to train my mind to think on these things because my mind has been trained to think of worldly stuff, which is my fleshly behavior, which is, do you not know that
it took me straight out of my character because everybody know me. Ease. I'm laid back. I don't go into. I ain't getting into the. I done let stuff go that I found out. I'm like, hey, it's all right. My own daughter asked me one time, how could you still speak to so and so? I'm like, hey, it's over and done with. What can you do about it? I'm so laid back, but I allowed them to pull me out of my character because I felt like I couldn't hit them. You know, they grown women. You know, I couldn't hit them. Plus, they're women. It's like, you know what? I'm not gonna let them. I'm not gonna be disrespected. That's just the bottom line. Wow. And if you disrespect me, and I tell you, hey, quit playing with me. I ain't none of your child. I ain't none of your friends. Leave me alone. But then this one incident happened, and it just took me over the edge to where I had to say something. Because if I don't, you know, it's like a bully. If a bully mess with you and you don't say nothing, they're gonna keep doing little stuff, keep saying it, you know. Yeah. And it just came to that point to where this last straw happened. I just had to give it to him. Yeah. And like I said, I don't feel bad because if it's going, like you say, my peace, or you disrespecting me and I'm your father, I can see if I had done some shit that make you, you know, like I know your story, like you told me about your dad or whatever, you know. And when Russ was on here, I was watching that episode. He's talking about his father when it was like, and they said, but I was there. You know what I mean? I've done things. I suffered too. A whole lot doing things, you know. Put it like this. One of them was abused by her ex-husband. But guess what? If that would have happened in my household, woo, I would have been, how could you let somebody do that? How could you do that? And everything that happened with our relationship is because of something they mother did. But they want to look at me like I'm the bad guy. Even though they know the truth. So, like I said, if you're not going to hold the right person accountable, you're going to still love her. It's still your mom at the end of the day. But don't come at me with shit that was her fault. And you know it because we discussed it. So you know the truth.
I wonder if they came to them after you told the truth. Did they go to their mother and say, you know, why you have us thinking one thing when Daddy just told us another?
You know what? I don't know. But I know that after that happened, the mother texted me and was like, really? But she wasn't really in when they were being disrespectful. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, don't fucking text me no more with that bullshit. You too, quit calling me. Really? Because see, I'm like this. If I'm with one of my kids and they disrespecting their mother, hold on, time out. That's your mother.
That's right.
Be respectful.
That's right.
If you're mad at her right now, that's fine, but it's still your mother, so be respectful. I'm not going to allow one of my kids to disrespect their mom because they're mad at her.
That's how I am.
You know, the Bible says, you know, respect your motherfucker. You're taking years off your own life when you disrespect your parents.
I got a lot of years off my life because I was disrespectful. I'm not lying. I mean, you know, by the grace of God, I'm still here, but I was disrespectful to everybody.
Man.
I was.
But you know that, though.
Yeah,
you know
I have definitely repented.
Yeah.
And asked my mother for forgiveness.
Yeah.
My dad and I made amends before he left this earth. I even went to my stepfathers and I told them the same thing. Right. So, yeah, you're right. A
lot of people ask me, man, would you talk to them if they wanted to? No, not right now. And I'm a stubborn person. They stubborn. You know, they like me.
Why not right now?
Because only way I would is if I knew they were talking to somebody bigger. Somebody who can say, hey, y'all discussed this before. You know the truth. Mm-hmm. So it's got to be, to me, it's something deeper than me.
It is. It's not you. That's what I said. That's why I said.
If I done, trust me, I wasn't perfect. Mm-hmm. I ain't beat him. I ain't never touched him. I ain't never done. All I tried to do was my best as a young father. But don't play me like I've never been in your life. I ain't done shit for you. This guy could be both their fathers, but the one looked just like me, so it's like, nah, she my daughter. But the other one, it's a 50-50 chance. And that's just being real. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, it's much bigger than what y'all telling me.
Well, why in God's name haven't you got a blood test, Darryl? I was just really
36 now. You know what I mean? Back then, because I took responsibility. Because when she was born, this is my daughter.
But it wouldn't have been mama, baby, daddy.
Exactly.
It wouldn't have been that had you did that.
You're right.
Because now the child, what I'm saying is, if it was just known for sure. Mm-hmm. Now I can't speak for the one that you say is, or that you feel is yours, but I'm saying I can't even imagine me being in limbo. Mm-hmm. I don't really know who my dad is, so she already feeling some type of way anyway, Darryl.
No, not knowing. Because all this time she knew I was her father.
Oh.
She knew I was her father. And you know what? She even sat me and her mom down one day.
How can she say she know?
Look, when she turned 21, was able to have a drink, she called me and her mom and said, hey, meet me at Frank and Jay's. I met her there, buy her a drink because she's 21 now. Her mom was there. She asked us, what happened to y'all? My daughter, I just look like. I said, I tried to take over for her mom. Well, we were young, which we were young parents, And she was like, nah, what happened? You know what I mean? I told her, and I looked at her mother because I didn't want to just. So her mother ended up telling her, and thank God she was honest. Her mother told her the truth. My daughter said, well, damn, Mom, I understand why he felt that way. So then she went to tell her sister, who always looked at me like he didn't want me. Why he didn't want me. So she was hurt. And I understand because you were a child. So she was hurt. So my oldest daughter told her, this is what really happened.
But she's still hurt though.
And I know. And then she called me. This is why I thought it was over. She called me and said, Dad, this is going to be emotional. At first I didn't want to hear it because you and your granddaughter have a great relationship, and I don't want to. She said, I was hurt as a young child by you because I felt like you didn't want me, blah, 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 blah. She said, but her sister told her what happened, and she said, I forgive you. And she said, well, I appreciate you, and it makes me respect you even more.
Okay.
So I'm like, man, thanks for saying that, because I didn't want to go through life with you thinking I just didn't want to be a part of your life. So she understood. And I always tell them, put yourself in my shoes. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you got to put yourself in other person's shoes. I had to put myself in their shoes, even with them being disrespectful. But the stuff they were saying to me, I know it's like, man, how could that even come out of their mouth? Mm-hmm. That I did this or I did that or I did this. It looked like this one was over my house more. Her mother never kept me from her as a child, but your mother did because of this situation. So it's like,
they just hurt, Darryl.
I get it.
They are, and I know they wrong, and I know you don't want to be disrespectful, but I ain't
gonna be disrespectful. I don't give a damn how hurt you are.
I know.
But listen, I told them, look, you can, and before they called it intervention, so we could sit and talk about all this with all my other kids. And I said, let me say this. You can say anything in the world you want to me, even if you're upset, but be respectful. That way it won't go left.
Right.
Oh no, we would never disrespect, and everything was nice and respectful. And I answered the questions and they understood. All four, I have 5 kids. And all of them, except one wasn't there, the youngest one.
Okay.
But they all we told the story. Well, Dad, I feel like this because of this. I understand, so this is why this happened. Boom. This, oh, I feel like this. Okay, thank you for telling me that. This is why this happened. Boom, boom, boom. The end of the day, they was sitting there like, damn. Now, do your homework. Go ask your mom. Go ask your grandma. Go see. I ain't gonna sit here and lie on your mama or this, that, but this is what happened. Now put yourself in my shoes. You know, my son, me and him, we got a good relationship, but it was for his mama kept him from me for 8 years. And
why?
I signed the birth certificate.
Why do women do that? Is it because they can't have the man? Is that it?
In one of the cases, I can say that, but in this case, we broke up. I caught her cheating. My son's, I caught her cheating. I said, look, I'm done, but I'm gonna take care of my son. She ended up getting with a guy who wasn't fond of me, I guess, you know.
And didn't want her to
have, you know, and I'm like, I had to go over to the house and look, man, that's my son, you know, that's your woman now. That's y'all, but this is my son, I'm gonna take care of him. Me and him had some words, we ended up getting into it. They moved. After that, I'm like, have you ever seen somebody in the city that you haven't seen in 20 years, but y'all both still live here in this little ass city?
Yeah.
And you like, damn, you still live in Dayton? Yeah, but you never see him. Right. Dayton is small, and you can walk around and I see somebody for 20 years.
Yeah.
So she kept my son from me. So my son, up until 3, he knew me as his father. But after they moved or whatever, and he was like, well, Dad, I had a problem with you saying you had to mourn me. I said, well, let me explain this to you. 3 years old, perfect me and you. She met this guy, boom, all of a sudden, oh, he don't want you around, you know, blah, 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 blah. Now, he's growing up thinking this guy's his father.
So can I ask you why you didn't go to court or fight harder? That's would have been me as a kid.
Listen to this. So, I signed his birth certificate when he was born. I go to child support. Hey, I want to pay child support because I knew if I paid child support, I'd get visitation rights.
That's right.
We're going to send her a letter. Okay. I go back downtown. She ain't cooperating. Swear to God. What you mean she ain't cooperating? Well, go take her to jail like you would take me to jail if I wasn't cooperating. I signed the birth certificate. I'm the father. I want to pay child support so I can have visitation rights. She ain't cooperating. Nothing happened to her. And I didn't have money back then, $1,800, $2,000 to pay an attorney to do this.
I hear that.
So when I told him I had to mourn him, me and the guy already got into it. The guy threatened my life, calling my mama, yeah, I'm going to kill your son. We got into it. I ended up pulling a pistol on him one day because I sat outside their house and watched him go in and out of the house. I said, okay, he going to kill me. Let's see who go first. Because I take that very serious.
Right.
I watched him for 3 days. Okay, he come out at 7. Getting to warm the car because it was when warm the car up and he gone. Okay. God was with him because I put on all black, like you said, I don't know what it is, but I put on all black and I stood on the corner of the apartment building with a baseball bat. He came out, started the car, went back in the house. I said, okay, 7:15, coming back out and I'm going to hit a home run. 7:15, he came out, a police car pulled up in the thing. I dropped the bat and walked off.
What in the world?
I probably would have been in prison, but
what?
I dropped it and walked off. I said, damn.
Man, talking about divine intervention.
Dude, I got back in my car, following him down Olive Road. We got to Olive and Free Pike. He was listening to music. I got my sister's car, because I didn't have my car. He knew what it was.
Right.
Pulled up on the side of him, and he looked and said,
I hear you.
Okay. He looked at me, and I pointed the pistol at him.
Excuse me.
And after I pointed the pistol at him, he took off. And then I told myself, okay, either I'm going to go to jail for murder, or I'm just going to have to take care of the kids I had. And at that time, I had 2 kids. So I would go to the Salem Mall. I would be having a good day. I mean, months that went by this time that I had seen my son. Months went by. A year go by, you know. And I'm like, man, only way I got to see him, my sister cut hair at Hair Capital. My sister cut his grandfather's hair. He would bring pictures, school pictures in and give them to my sister to give to me. So I go into Salem Mall in a good mood, pick up some gym shoes, look to my left, see a guy there with a son buying him some shoes. Oh, I'm fucked up. I'm just fucked up the rest of the day. I'm depressed. I'm at home. I'm just laying in the bed. You know, so, but either I was going to kill this guy and go to jail, or I had to get over it and move on. And I kept saying, man, God, I will pray to God, man, when you going to let me see my son, blah, 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 blah. You know, so, funny thing happened. My son played basketball for the Mohawks.
Okay.
And when you play basketball as a child, you know, you have to have your birth certificate. So this is how the birth certificate came into play. He brought his birth certificate and gave it to the coach. He said he came out the game, sat on the bench, and looked over. Birth certificates. Guess whose was on top? His.
With Darryl Easley name on it.
Picked it up. Mother, blah, 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 blah. Father, Darryl Easley. Who was that? Went home. He said, who was Darryl Easley? He said, everybody got quiet. Where you hear that name from? My birth certificate say my dad's name is this. Then they had to have that talk with him. You see what I'm saying? So that shit I had to go through. It's like
why I had to go through so much about
I've
my
been
kids.
through this about my kids, and then
And
you
I'm a
don't
stand-up guy.
Yeah.
And there's some niggas that don't want to take
want to take care of kids.
And
if I was
there.
that kind of person, I would have to suck it up. If they cuss me out, nigga, you wasn't there, you wouldn't. Yeah, you're right. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. What can you say? I apologize. We breathing. Let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
But I was trying to be there. Like I said, I didn't say he was your dad. Your mother did.
See?
You know, she passed of breast cancer, so God bless her. You know, I ain't saying nothing bad about her. But the
So,
truth is the truth.
Mm-hmm.
She did, not me. So I told all my kids, all y'all got these grievances with me. Guess who the common denominator is? Me. Everything y'all went through once, I went through 4 times with y'all mamas.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And like I said, if I was just, I ain't gonna sit and say I was perfect, because I wasn't perfect. I was a young father, but I ain't do no crazy shit. You know what I mean? I'd have let them, I would kill for them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I would die for them right now. We ain't getting along, but I would still die for them because they're my kids.
Right.
You know? So it's like.
What advice do you have for, say, a brother that's going through this very thing right now, Darryl? What do you say? What would you tell them to do differently than maybe, or if they're, because there's some brothers, I was with a couple guys that went through this same very thing. Mm-hmm. He could never see his kids. He went and got Gump as a lawyer. We took, every time she was in contempt, she wouldn't bring the kids. He was supposed to have them every 3 weeks or something like that during the summer. She would never do it. He'd go back to court. All that costs money.
Yeah.
But because he was in the streets, he could handle it.
Right.
But what about the brother that's working and really can't afford to keep getting a lawyer, paying a lawyer to go back? Why aren't they as hard on women as they will be to put y'all in jail?
That's a great question, because I've known guys who paid child support for kids that wasn't theirs, and found out they weren't theirs.
Yeah.
And because they signed the birth certificate,
yeah,
they still made them pay.
But
me, I was paying child support. And with my son, I signed his birth certificate. I went downtown to pay child support, just so that I can see my son.
And she wouldn't cooperate nothing.
And all they told me is she ain't cooperating.
So what would you say?
That was it.
I know.
I was like,
crazy.
Damn, but y'all gonna put me in jail for not cooperating. Go arrest her. I mean, they had to put me out at Rival Bill when child support was down there. They had to put me out because I was, God damn it, if I didn't do this, you would take me to jail.
They would.
You know, you sending me letters in the mail to come to court. She ain't cooperating, and that's all they told me.
What would a brother do though? Now, do you know anything differently they can do? Has anything changed since then?
I don't have a clue. But I done been through it. My whole family, I done been through it. Child support, this and that, ups and down. But with stuff like that, I mean, you just would have to try to get a lawyer. But I didn't have it like that. So I don't know what to tell somebody if you don't have the money to get a lawyer.
I know.
And you know you've been done wrong.
Though. They do have them down there. I do know that much. They do have advocates for people that that help out a father in that case. I do know about that. They just have to go. I mean, it beats not doing anything, you know, at all.
Yeah.
So.
But God brought it all together for me and my children.
Yes.
But like I said, my 2 oldest, we still haven't spoken. You know.
How long has it been going on?
Probably about a year now.
Darryl!
What?
A year?
Probably about a year, or close to a year. Yeah, but I mean, I can say, like I said, I still love him.
I know that.
I forgave him, but you can't talk to me. You can't tell me.
No, I get that if
You
they
know,
still gonna be
and
disrespectful.
now, like I said, it's something I feel that can be worked out if maybe a counselor called me and said, "Hey, I've been sitting here talking to them. Is there a way you can come in?" Because there's somebody there to say, "You was wrong," or "You was wrong." Even if I was wrong. I was wrong for letting them take me out of my character. I was wrong for cursing them. I mean,
I was getting ready to say
I was
that.
wrong.
Yeah.
I was wrong. I can sit here
I'm glad you
this
did.
show and say I was dead wrong for cursing them out. But I felt like they just kept playing with me.
Yeah.
Kept playing with me. Because, that ain't going to say nothing. He ain't going to do nothing. And I even told him, look, don't play with me like that. Quit playing. You know, posting stuff on Facebook. This, that, yeah. It's like, people calling me like, I know they ain't talking about you. People that know me know, oh, they can't be talking about you, you know. And I'm like, look, man, I unfriended them so I wouldn't see stuff. So I wouldn't come back home. You know what I mean? But like I said, you have to forgive them wholeheartedly and move forward. And that's what I'm doing. And if they can't respect me, then we don't need to talk.
So why does a mediator, if they came and said, Daddy, I'm sorry?
Because it's something deeper for them to do what they did to me. It's way, and you know the situation. Now, if you didn't know the situation, it's a different story. But let me explain it to you. But if you know the situation and you still coming at me with all this fire, like it was all on me, it was my fault.
Well, why couldn't y'all go to a group, like go together, go to therapy together?
I'm going to say, and it may sound, I don't feel like I have the problem. I do because they're my kids. But I want them to get that help before we can sit down and talk. And they may feel like, shit, you need to go get some help.
But what I mean by that is, I remember when we had therapy, they wanted my mom and dad, even though our case is different.
Right.
But if they could just get them in together and then kind of explain to you maybe why this is happening with them. Because all you see is disrespect. And that's valid.
Right.
That is valid.
Right.
Okay, but I'm saying if they were like to sit with you to explain the deeper, what's going on deeper than that, would you be in there? I'm not saying you have to be, but I'm saying at least open up the door to be.
Because it takes time. You know, time heals anything.
It does.
You know,
because I'm sure the sting is not as bad as it was when it first happened.
Oh yeah, no.
It's been a year now.
I mean, I miss them. You know what I mean? I'm sure they probably miss me, but you know, it's just like, to me, when you know, it's just hard. Now, would I accept if they say, "Can we talk"?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
That is the God in you.
I would say
yes.
But it can't. You have to think. Sometimes the way people think makes you like, what? Like my one daughter told me, well, Dad, you say you love us on Facebook and we're beautiful, but you don't say it in person. I say, so if I call you a bitch on Facebook, am I calling you a bitch or not? Because it's not on.
But what they say is, why don't
I do tell them they're beautiful or they're pretty in person. But she was like, well, you say, I mean, I tell my kids I love them every time we talk. Before we leave, I'm kissing them. They know I love them.
Well, why would she say that you don't say it in person, Darryl?
That's how she felt. And I have to respect how she felt, but it's like, well,
you say how she felt, but I'm saying if you did say it, why would she say that you didn't say it? Is that just how her mind works?
She said, I say I love them. Well, I say I love them every day, even talk to them on the phone. They're beautiful on Facebook. Like they post a picture, beautiful. Thanks, Dad.
Right.
But then to say, but you don't tell us we're beautiful in person.
So is she lying?
I think I tell them they're beautiful. That's what I'm like, well, maybe I don't tell her enough. I don't know, but so I'm like,
obviously she's not, if she's saying
that's how she feels, and I have to respect that.
Right.
But I'm like, well, damn, I tell all my kids I love them and this and that. So we go somewhere. If we go somewhere and they're dressed up, I might not say you're beautiful. I might say, hey, you look good.
Right.
You're pretty.
I hear you.
But just to say the beautiful part. So if I'm saying you're beautiful on Facebook, I'm still saying you're beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, if I didn't say it at all, I can understand where you're coming from. But you're saying because I say it on Facebook, it's different than saying it to you.
But maybe.
So that's why I said, if I call you a bitch on Facebook, am I calling you a bitch or am I not because it's on Facebook?
Right. I hear you. But I also hear what she's saying too.
Yeah.
And that wasn't her feeling. Mm-hmm. That's why I said it would be great if y'all could, if they chose,
right,
to get there, then you go in, everybody go in, and then, cause you're so, you know, like, well, if I say that, you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. She's really crying out for more. That's what I hear. It's not even about, when she said that to me, it's like she's crying out for something else. You know what I'm saying, girl?
Yeah.
That's what I mean by that. And dealing with the daughters are you're not a woman, so it is very hard for you to understand the emotional roller coaster thing.
I got 4 or 5 daughters.
That's what I mean.
So I know.
And everybody is different.
Right.
Everybody got a different need from you. Mm-hmm. You're everybody's daddy, but every daughter has a different need.
Exactly.
Like I'm sure my sister needed something totally different from our father than I did.
Right.
I just needed the nigga to be there for me.
Yeah,
I don't really know what I needed. Yeah. I just needed him, for one, to just be there.
Right.
And then that would have perhaps, I'm not saying, because some people had a dad in their life and they still turn out promiscuous or turn out that way. Yeah. But I'm saying I know that I was looking for love. Mm-hmm. That's why I dated older men. Right. That's a clear sign that I was looking for a father figure. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And even though I had a great stepdad, but he wasn't my daddy. Right. He wasn't mine. Right. And so, like I'm saying, and even in your case, with you being there, there is still something, that one who said, that one, I'm saying to her, it's something that she's needing more than, well, daddy, you don't say that. For her to even nitpick it to that. Right. It's something else she needs.
Right. And another thing I had to explain to him, like, she was the first one. She called to meet my oldest, and she was like, what happened? We used to, like, they love my lasagna, my oldest. So I would make a lasagna, we watch a movie or something. But when they get older, it's like, now it works both ways. I took care of you. When you were a kid, I did all the calling and all this. But now that you're grown, it takes 2.
Yes, it does.
Well, Dad, we ain't watched the movie in a while. You haven't called and said, hey, can we do this? And I haven't either. You know, you got your child, you working, you doing this. Mm-hmm. You know, it don't mean I don't love you. It don't mean I don't want to watch a movie with you. But if you want to watch a movie, sometimes you can call too and say, hey, Dad, let's watch a movie. And it works both ways. It does. And if you don't do it, I feel like if you call me when you need me, we need some money, you call. You need money, you need this, you call. And I understand, because I was the same way with my grandma. Yeah. Hey, I need some money. Well, you don't call and say, hey, how are you? You just call and need some money.
See, now it's different than that.
But it's like, okay, but if you can call when you're in trouble, then you should be able to call when you're not in trouble. Even and the thing about it, we all, after that meeting, we all said we're gonna get better. You know, we're going to get better. We all got it. I told him, everybody's grown now, so we all have to do this together.
That's right.
As a team, you know, we have to do this together, not just waiting on Dad to call, waiting on Dad to do this or do that, and then it becomes, you know, I got 7 grandsons and a granddaughter now. So now it's like, if I'm at his baseball game, then I got to worry about how this one felt. Well, you didn't go to his thing. I mean, I'm running around. I go to his football game, his karate practice, his boxing practice, they soccer. You one person. I'm running around, but then sometimes somebody get jealous. I think you spend more time, or they always over your house. You know why?
Women.
Because they call me and say, Dad, can you watch the boys while I study? Sure. But if you don't call and say, can you watch my boys? See, my youngest daughter is the only child. Mm-hmm. She don't have but her stepsisters. Mm-hmm. But see, all my other kids got brothers and sisters. Mm-hmm. So when they need somebody to watch their kids, they call their sister. Hey, I'm gonna drop the kid. But my daughter, the one that's my youngest daughter, is the only one. So all she has is me and her mom. Mm-hmm. You know, so that's why I'm like, okay, we all have to, you know, get together and do this. But
well, I'm that way. I'm that way with my niece and nephew. I'm always here. I've been here for I don't know how long. Mm-hmm. I was always here for their parents, and I'm gonna be here for them, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna kiss nobody's butt. If I reach out and say, hey, I want to spend time with the kids, bring them down, I'm not keep saying that. I'm not doing that because I'm saying you can drop them off. I'm not even the type that when you hurry up, come back. I don't even do that. I just say I want to spend time, drop them off. I'll call y'all, you know, whatever day. Yeah. But if you don't, and you see that the other,
I feel like you don't need me.
Then obviously you cool with them not being out here. But it used to make me feel some type of way because I was around my aunts and uncles, and y'all's mothers made sure that y'all was around me. But then when some of y'all get grown, y'all don't feel it's important, but then I see them over to maybe they mama saying, you know how that is about your mama's side.
Yeah. Right,
that's just how that be.
That's how
but
it is,
I'm just saying, I'm the auntie though, that it didn't matter about your, even though I'm your dad's sister, I still have been very involved in y'all's life. So why wouldn't you want me to be involved in your other children, in y'all's children's life? But I have to respect it if you don't. Did it bother me? That I feel, but I respect it. Because one thing I'm not, two things I'm not is scared or I'm kissing ass. I'm not doing that.
I ain't either.
I'm going to respect that.
And if you look at my page, you'll see I have pawpaw weekends at my center where all my grandkids together, they spend the night, we play games, I order them pizza, I let them run around, scream till their heads about to pop off. Then I lay them down, we put a movie in, they all fall asleep, their moms come and get them in the morning. I do that so I can have all of them at the same time.
That's what I want to do.
You know what I'm saying? So
mine. I want to have all of them together.
So I try to do that at least once a month, get all of them together. You know,
it just sounded to me that you dealing with women, and women are emotional. We are emotional creatures. And that's why I was laughing. Not laughing at your situation.
No, I get it. Because we not going to understand. And women don't understand men like that. It is what it is. But you can be emotional all day, but I'm not taking no disrespect from you.
No.
I don't give a damn how emotional you are. I don't give a damn what you feel. If you feel in a certain way, I always told them you can talk to me. But just be respectful so that we can get something accomplished. But if you call me, it's already going left. And I don't let it go to that. I don't go there. And they've never done that. They've never been disrespectful. You know, but after we had this big meeting and we discussed it and they knew the truth, now it's like, okay, y'all grown, y'all know the truth. Now it's time to move on. Y'all know it's time to move on. But then it started throwing these shots at me and I'm like, well, damn, what? And when they get to the point where I have to tell you, look, you know, don't be disrespectful. You know, don't play with me. You know, I'm not one of your friends. But then it keeps getting harder. If you don't say nothing, it'll still be going on. So I felt like, do I feel bad that I let myself get to that point where I had to use curse words? God damn it, quit fucking playing with me. I ain't no fucking kid. Blah, 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 blah. And they say something, then I'm saying fuck you too. They saying something, I'm saying something. And it went there. But I feel like it was necessary.
Do you forgive yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why I can live with it.
Okay.
And it may sound harsh to some people if we don't ever speak again, and it's gonna sound harsh.
You said that.
I forgave them. You gotta forgive and move on. I forgave them. I'm moving forward. I love them. I had to forgive them so I can move on. So whether they forgive me or whatever, that's something they would have to do, or to themselves.
What about in relationships? I mean, disrespect is disrespect. When you first meet a woman, or if you're in a relationship, once it gets disrespectful, do you cut them off? Like, okay, I can't deal with or have you even been through that?
I've been through it. I've been through the disrespect, but and guess what? Once I cut it off, and then we took time and we got better because they know how far to take you now. So that's why I say sometimes you have to be disrespectful back to get respect. And I hate to say that because it don't sound right.
You just got to treat people how to
don't
treat you.
Don't put your hands on them or nothing, but...
Why do you feel you got to be disrespectful? Why can't you just treat them how to treat you? Like, I'm not going to go for it and cut them, like you said, cut them out. Sometimes that hurt women way more than you putting your hands on them. That cut off, that cut off a bad vibe. Because I deal with rejection.
It got to that point.
Right there, it's like...
Yeah, but then when we get back together, then it's better because they know, okay, I can't say this. I can't. For one, if you my girlfriend, you can't dog my family because I ain't going to let that happen. Whether they right or wrong, you can't talk about them like that because everybody got issues. You know what I mean? Your problems.
Why did you bring up don't dog my family?
No, because you know how some women, your daughter did so-and-so. And so, well, damn, then you tell them, well, your brother did so-and-so. You did this, you did that. So, family is hard. When you're in a relationship, you can't disrespect the other part of the family without somebody feeling some kind of way.
That's why people don't. That's probably why niggas hate me to this day.
You talking about their mama?
I go straight in on your ass.
See,
I go straight in.
Oh, hell no. I know women who talk. I call this mama bitch. She said, "Whoa, that's hard."
No,
right there. That's horrible.
I don't do.
That's horrible right there.
Girl, I don't go that far. I'm saying,
I love my family.
I will talk about
and
your hairy chin ass sister.
Now see?
I will.
But then you say something about on Facebook not long ago. I thought I saw somewhere something with your brother. You said something about your brother, but you had to. If he wrong, you still protecting him.
Yeah.
But you will let him know too, dude, you wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, you tell me about it was about your brother and the situation.
Yes.
Yeah, but he was wrong. But
he was. But I don't give a damn if he killed Obama. I don't care. I'm going. I'm now.
Yeah, I get it.
That right there, I'm dead serious about that, and I mean that. Like, I'm gonna be with my brother. Right. I told him, no, I do not believe that brother should have died. I don't. Right. However, my brother did not intentionally mean to take his life. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Right. He went to just do what he did, and it just got out of hand. Yeah. And so now my brother is in return paying for that. So that's why you'll never see me on Facebook talking about free Jesse, free my brother. I wouldn't want no motherfucker doing that to me. Yeah. What do you mean free your brother? He done killed my brother.
Yeah,
you understand?
Pay for it
No, that's disrespectful to the family. I don't care what that other gentleman's life was like. Right. The point is, my brother did that. Right. Okay, but that has nothing to do about my support. Right. Me. That's your brother. My brother. You support him. So, you feel bad for the family, but you're still gonna. It's your brother. But I've had relationships. You know? Well, a nigga told me that my ex said to me, "Well, what'd he say? We had got into it, and he was like, oh, your scary ass brother." See what he said. That's what I mean. Now you don't open up the door. Feel? Oh, well, yeah. Oh, but see, I'm not being funny, but now you in my court. Oh, you ready for that? Because I live for this. Right. You ready? Like you ready to start talking about? People so when I go in, nigga, now he ready to fight. Right. Because I done talked about your boy. I'll rearrange your whole world, nigga. Don't never think that, because that ain't hurt my feelings. Right. I'm just saying, since you trying to go low. Right. But this what I told him. This was my comeback. I said, that you think that hurt my feelings. I said, so you saying he's scary because he shot the nigga instead of whatever. Right. But what I'm saying to you is that he killed the wrong nigga. Right. Because I wanted it to be you. And I meant that, though. See, women could cut deep. Yeah, and I meant that. Like, the nigga who he should have did, nigga, was you. And why he didn't kill you when you was putting your hands on me, it's mind-boggling to me anyway. But it is what it is. So with that being said, now we on a... Shut up then. Don't go over them kind. Don't go over that. Right. Because I'm ready for it. Did he say that again? No. Yeah, he was ignorant. I was in a very toxic domestic. See, sometimes, so when you're in a relationship, you start a relationship, you have to get to know that person for one, right? I met the representative. I didn't mean who he really was. Exactly. So when you get to know this person and you know how they are, and it's just boundaries on both ends. There's certain things he can't say to you. There's certain things you can't say to him. But y'all learn that. As y'all been together, you learn that. And then after a while, you get mad at him. You might throw something and say something that you know that's going to cut deep to him. To the core of his soul. Because y'all been together and you know. And he's the same way. And that's why I say that family is always touchy, because people you're with know how to hurt you. But it's just I guess it's just funny that you off the rip you said, first off, you can't talk about my family, and I guess because that is where a person with my past behavior, because I do not plan on doing that with my husband to come. Right. I don't even want that in me. You know what I mean? Yeah. I want to get to the point where if he do go low, I go high. Right. I want my vibration. I want to be able to operate on a higher vibration. Like, you know what? Since you going there, you're not, I don't think this going to work. Mm-hmm. Because if I got to come up out of my bag and get to talking about your ancestors, the dead ones. Right. Because I have no boundaries. Right. Then we're not going to be together, because you'll end up beating me up. Right. Feel me? So it's just best to go on. So you probably rather beat me up than argue with me, because you're not going to win. You feel what I'm saying? But that is a good point, to learn what triggers are. Right. And so if you see that, if you're saying, if I see a woman that talk like that, then you know, this, I can't, ain't nothing I can do with her. Does she have to have something going on like yourself? Or like if she just go to work and come home, you cool with that? No, just go to work every day. Okay. You know, two people can have anything if they work together. I say the same. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't got to be a superstar. You ain't got to be in the movies or acting or in whatever. You know, you just work together and you can have what you want. Do you mind if she wear makeup and wigs like me?
No.
I'm not saying
No.
I
I
do
get
you
it.
care about?
No, I want you to be yourself. You know what I mean? If you ain't got no hair in your bald head, if that's you, it's you. If you got a big wig, it's no. I'm not talking about you in general, but just women. Period.
I know.
Because I know women who wear wigs and got hair down to their
Sure do.
It's like, why you wear wigs?
Come
Your
on,
hair way
Frank.
back here.
Come.
But it's who they are.
Mm-hmm.
I just want you to be yourself.
I love you.
You know,
girl.
and I love women who don't need makeup.
I know that's
I'm
right.
like that pretty, just inner
Just
beauty.
natural.
Just natural is
My
fine with
brother
me.
the same
If you want to
way.
wear makeup, cool. So if that's you, that's you.
But would you prefer she didn't?
I'm more
Natural.
attracted to women who don't wear a lot of makeup. You can wear eyelashes because they make your eyes come out pretty,
Yeah.
and maybe I don't know what you call it, but I don't like when you hug them and it's all on your shirt because it's so much.
Right.
And when they take it off, they
Look
damn,
different.
that same person. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I've just always been in the natural beauty. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Not saying if you wear makeup, I don't look. Because,
I know what you mean. You talking about how they do those.
You like, well, goddamn,
Who are they? Right. And the way they do makeup now, they really transform
yeah,
into
they
something.
do.
It's unbelievable.
I saw on Facebook they had a guy, dark skinned dude, short hair. They put makeup, lashes on him, hair, light skin. I was like, damn.
Right.
Like,
No,
wow,
seriously.
you would never know.
You would never
I was
know.
like, damn.
It's that deep now.
Yeah,
and
is.
they so gifted. However, it is still deceiving.
Oh, definitely.
So that's how you got to know when you're going out.
Yeah.
Is this who you really? You got to know when they come out what they looking like.
Right.
So that's why when I do have a date, I mean, of course you don't when you have a date. That's weird.